everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my May TBR. I'm super excited for May because I feel like it's definitely going to be like a mood reading month for me. I don't have a ton going on. I am participating in one readathon, and that is the Escape the Readathon, which is hosted by a ton of people, but the main person is Books with Lexi, that's who created it. If you are curious, I'm on the Vacationer team, but this readathon is very interesting. I still don't even fully grasp the whole concept. I mean, I do, but I don't. So I'm not going to explain it. You could just watch it, but basically there are different teams and we're all competing to escape this haunted house, and we get the prompts like as we go, so we can't plan our TBR, and there's like 2 different prompts, and that's what makes it complicated. But so I think that we're gonna have 5 different prompts, but also like it's based off like we said how many books we think we're gonna read. I think I probably said 11 to 15 because May I am going to have like basically 2 full weeks off of school and for the most part work. Just I will have my remote job, so and a couple RA things, but besides that I basically am free to read, so hopefully I'll be able to get a lot of reading done, and I'm really just excited for May because I feel like it's definitely, as I said, going to be a mood reading month. I forgot to mention that my Patreon, we're also doing our 24-hour readathon. I do a 24-hour readathon every quarter with my top tier, and so we are going to be doing it this month for the second quarter of the year. And so we are going to be doing that from the 13th to the 14th, probably around like 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. in case you wanted to join the Patreon and do a 24-hour readathon with me. That'll be linked down below. I also have my Patreon book club, but as of now, we have not decided which book we are reading. So I will pop in editing and announce what book we will be reading in May in case you would like to join the Patreon and discuss with us as the month goes on. Okay, this is me popping back in to let y'all know what the Patreon book club pick is. And yes, I'm wearing the same shirt because I forgot to take a thumbnail for this video, so I have to take that. But my Patreon book club pick for the month was decided to be The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I've been really wanting to read this for the past couple months because a lot of my friends really love this book, specifically Haley from Haley Hughes, or her name is just Haley Hughes, but she really loves this book, and I'm part of her Patreon, and in her Discord all of her patrons be talking about how they love this book. This is one of the best stories that they've ever read. It's kind of like a bitch I'ma steal your life type energy where I think this main character Amber, she infiltrates this wealthy family and is trying to like literally steal the wife's life. So that's what this one is about. I'm really excited to get to it and discuss it with my patrons. So since I literally cannot plan my TBR for that readathon, and I only really have my Patreon book club, and obviously the spins is going to be a very fast TBR, I also do think I'm going to participate in the buzzwordathon this month. I am actually filming this pretty early, as I said. That's why I don't know the book club pick yet for my Patreon. So I have not completed the buzzword for this month yet. I don't know if I'll be able to, honestly, but regardless, I'll be trying to do it in May because the word is other, which other is in a lot of words. So one of them that I do have that's specifically other is A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole. This is a vampire romance. I don't own it. I don't think I own any books that have other in it besides ones that I've already read, like Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes. There's also like Mothered by Zoe Sage, which just came out, but then also there's Just Like Mother by Anne Hetzel, which that's one book I've really been wanting to read, so I'll probably read that one or A Hunger Like No Other. We'll see which one. So now for the spinner wheel, I'm going to go over the prompts for last month and see if I need to take a punishment or not. So one of the spins was a random color, and I got a bright green, so I went with The Writing Retreat, which I did read. Of course I had to for the Literally Dead book club. Then I had graphic novels / comic / manga. For that I went with Moonstruck, which I have not read yet, but I have a couple days left, and it's a graphic novel, so I'll definitely finish it. For hard hitting, I chose Take It Back by Kia Abdullah, which I did read. Then for a 2022 release, I read Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, and I also did read this one. And then for highest rated, I originally had Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas, but I definitely could not get to that because I went into like a 2-week reading slump. So I've changed it to Lore Olympus because that one was actually like Lore Olympus Volume 4 is actually higher up than all Sarah J Maas books. I haven't read it yet, but again, it's like a graphic novel. I'm on Volume 3, so I'll probably just read Volume 3 because that one was also highly rated. So now we're going to do the actual spins, and normally I would do more than 5 spins. I generally do 5, but I'm going to just feel it out because I'm kind of excited to like actually like mood read for the month. And I also do have one reading vlog planned that I kind of want to do, but I don't have like a TBR set for it yet. Like I'm kind of going to mood read that vlog as well. So I think I still want to do like about 5 to 6 spins just so I can like have some space to mood read. And then also I don't know if any of these books are going to overlap with the prompts for the Escape the Readathon. So the first prompt is a gritty book. For a gritty book, I'm going to go with a book that I really been wanting to read. I got it last month, and that is Everything That the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. This is an arc of his book, which comes out in June, so I got it in April, so I definitely want to read it in May before it comes out. And I don't specifically know if this is like gritty, but everything Eric LaRocca writes to me is gritty, so yeah, that's what I'm choosing for this prompt. I'm just really excited I was able to get this on here because I need to read this in May regardless. Moving on to the second spin. We have an illustrated cover. So I honestly might change this one to be different depending on that secret reading vlog, but for right now I think I'm gonna go with Woman Eating. I would call this illustrated personally. It looks definitely drawn. This is a horror book that I recently picked up. I spent so much money on horror books in one Barnes & Noble trip, so I'm trying to actually like read some of them this month, and I'm in a very much horror mood this whole entire year, so that's going to be my second book. For the third spin, we have Continue a Series. So for a Continue a Series, I think I am going to go with Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm having a really hard time with this because I've heard some problematic things about Sarah J. Maas, but then recently I've seen it brought up again, so I decided to look more into it, and some of the things that she's done and said I definitely don't agree with, and I think she's verging on a problematic author, but I really want to, like, when I read her books, obviously, and one of the big things obviously that she has done is that she has a lack of representation in her books, and I read her books years ago when I was way younger, so I think I still want to try and read some of her books just so I can see for myself how the representation is, and you know, really get a feel for it myself. I know that some people are going to have different opinions on that, but I am letting y'all know, like, I know I have a whole reading vlog dedicated to Sarah J. Maas on my channel, so I do want to bring up the fact that she has done problematic things that I just didn't see, especially towards the Jewish community and also even Black women, which is very hurtful to me, but I just want to try and see for myself how I actually feel about her writing and her work now that I'm a little bit more conscious than I was previously. I feel like I never talk about what these books are about in my TBR, so I'm gonna go back and talk about these. So Everything the Darkness Eats, I know that this is specifically about a town, and it says evil waits for the unsuspecting in the small town of Henley's Edge, Connecticut, after a recent string of unexplained disappearances. Lives are interwoven and transformed forever when pacts are drawn, deals are made, and when hatred is left unrestrained. Some will succumb to the darkness that lurks in the cellar of Mr. Hart Crowley's home. Others will resist, and some will face a truly remarkable being, creator of tides, vessel of infinity, eater of darkness. So this is about a town that has some disappearances, and I'm assuming that there is some being that is supernatural in nature, and it is, I don't know if I mentioned, it's Eric LaRocca's first book. And the Woman Eating also has like a little short synopsis. It says, a young mixed race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live among humans with her incessant hunger in the stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. I wonder if it's mixed race like black and white, for example, or like half human, half vampire. I'm curious, but I've heard really good things about this, and so I definitely want to pick it up. And Queen of Shadows is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series about an assassin named Elena who gets chosen to basically compete to be the king's champion, and this is something that she agrees to because it will get her out of prison, because she's actually in prison at the beginning of the first book. So now we're going to move on to the fourth spin. We have Takes Place in a City. So for Takes Place in a City, I'm going to go with There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. I've been meaning to finish this series literally since I read the first book. This is the second and final book in the Sinners Duet by Sophie Lark, and this one takes place, I believe, in San Francisco or Seattle. I can't remember. I think San Francisco. In this, we follow our main character Mara, and she is a starving artist. She literally is very much in poverty, and she somehow ends up catching the eye of this very famous, elusive artist who also lives in the town, and he actually happens to be a serial killer who's in competition with another serial killer who is also an artist. So they have art, they compete in art and serial killing, even though they do have different MOs and different demographics that they target. It's a journey, it's an adventure, but I'm really excited to continue and hopefully finish this series this month. So this is the fifth spin, and it might be the last. I might do one more. I also need to like wrap this video up soon. A horror, okay. This is very vague. So I honestly will probably just input some book that I'm going to be reading for that reading vlog. I think I'm going to go with 100% Match. I know this is one that I definitely want to read for that reading vlog because so many of my friends have been talking about this author and this book. I heard that it kind of ruins fast food for you, so I'll make sure to eat some, like, all my favorite fast food before I read this book because it might put me off for a couple months. I have no clue what this is about. I think it's about a man and he becomes obsessed with something and he's like a fast food fry cook. That's all that I know, but yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. And I'm gonna do one more spin, a 6 spin. So I have a Neck Alley arc. This is actually really good for me. Okay, I have so many that I can read for this, but I think I'm going to go with In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune because I love everything that I've read from TJ Klune and this is his newest work. So I definitely want to get to it. I don't know what it's about, but I believe this one is a little bit more like science fiction versus fantasy. I think I definitely mentioned this in my anticipated releases video. And I definitely talked about the whole synopsis there. Obviously I forgot it, which is why making those videos is fine for me because I don't like to read synopses beforehand, but I literally forget them, so it's completely okay. But so those are all the books that I'm going to be reading this month. And so those are all the books I'm going to be reading this month, and obviously I have a reading vlog hopefully coming for y'all, as well as I'm going to be participating in the Escape the Readathon, and I may just vlog like a random week of that, honestly. But that's all that I have for this video today. I hope that y'all enjoyed. If you made it to the end, leave either the little haunted house emoji or the ghost emoji down below for the Escape the Readathon, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye everybody. Faking your life for the